Hi, I'm Chef AJ, and I'd like to show you how to make a quick, easy, healthy dessert recipe that I call Apricot Quinoa Pudding Parfait. I am the author of the book Sweet Indulgence, which will be released in a few months. If you've already purchased the book, I can't thank you enough for making it already a bestseller. If you save your receipt, regardless of where you bought it, as soon as the book is released, we are going to send you, I kid you not, over $1,000 worth of incredible bonuses that we are creating as we speak. Every recipe in this book is not only vegan and gluten-free and kosher, there's over 150 recipes, but as you requested, every single recipe has a beautiful colored photo by the enormously talented vegan chef Hannah Kaminsky, and it was designed beautifully by another talented vegan named Janine Elder. Wherever you buy the book, please save your receipt. It doesn't matter if you buy it at bookshop.org or at Barnes & Noble or at Amazon. The price will fluctuate on Amazon, but they offer a low price guarantee. So on the day that it's released, if it's lower than what you paid, you will get your money back. But please do save that receipt, because the day that the book is released, we will have an email address that is brand new that you will send a copy of that receipt to, and we will send you some incredible bonuses. I can't announce them now, but I've been working all year to create them. So the recipe that I'm actually making now is not in the book because I just thought about it 2 days ago. I'll tell you how it came to be. And by the way, all my recipes are sweetened only with fruit, the whole fruit, and nothing but the whole fruit. If you watch my YouTube show, which I've aired live daily for almost 4 years now, the third Tuesday of the month, my good friend, the owner of California Balsamic, Tommy Balsamic, came on and announced the flavor of the month for next month. You see, if a viewer sends in a recipe and he uses it on the air, you get 2 free bottles of California Balsamic in the flavors of your choice. And he announced the flavor of apricot. It's not a flavor that I eat a lot, but it just happens that I had a small bottle of it that I never used. You get 2 free bottles, actually this size, 1.8 ounce, anytime you use my name, Chef AJ, when you place your order. And right below the video, I'll have that information in the show notes. So I thought about this recipe, and I call it Apricot Quinoa Pudding, but I'm going to make it into a parfait to make it more like a dessert. If you just make the quinoa part, it is delicious as a hot breakfast in place of your usual morning oatmeal. It's also good to serve cold or at room temperature. Quinoa's not the prettiest food, so that's why I wanted to turn it into a really beautiful parfait. It is so easy to make. I'm using my 3-quart Instant Pot electric pressure cooker because it's a very small amount that I'm making. Of course, you could make more if you like. I really like the 3-quart and the 8-quart and the 10-quart the best. Believe it or not, I don't even have the 6-quart because you can make a small recipe in a big pressure cooker, but you can't make a big one in a small. But I've had this one for years. I travel with it. I love it. In the insert right here, I have my non-dairy milk, and this is unsweetened almond milk. You can use any non-dairy milk you like, and in my book there are multiple recipes for different kinds of plant milk. Then I'm going to add my quinoa. I am using the white quinoa. Normally I use the tricolor, but I just felt in a dessert this would be a little bit prettier. What I have right here are unsweetened, unsulfured, dried apricots. And then I have peaches. Why are peaches in an apricot recipe? Well, guess what? This time of year, apricots are not available, but they look like apricots. And when I asked Google, they said the fruit closest to apricots was peaches. And I am using the canned peaches in their own juice. And so this will be delicious. And I'm putting that in. And then I have my spices, which is my favorite cinnamon from local spicery. It tastes like sugar, but there's no sugar in it. It's called Saigon Cassia. And my pure vanilla bean powder, which is different than vanilla powder. And I feel it's essential in desserts. Once you start using vanilla bean powder, I promise you, you will never go back to the extracts, which are really just watered down versions of vanilla and contain either glycerin or sugar or alcohol. I would rather not use any vanilla than use extract. That's what a vanilla snob I am. So now, to bump up that apricot flavor, I'm going to take my California balsamic vinegar, which the sugar comes from just the fruit, just the grapes, and then I'm going to place it in the pressure cooker, hoping this has 4 tablespoons because that's what I'm looking for. I think this might be exactly 4 tablespoons. Perfect, maybe even a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cook it on high pressure for 5 minutes. And when it beeps, I'm going to let it come down to pressure naturally, maybe 10 or 15 minutes before opening the top, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So now I'm going to show you how to make a really quick and easy whipped cream. A lot of the plant-based whipped creams are delicious, the ones that come in a can, but they're full of chemicals and sugar. And a lot of people use coconut milk, which is delicious, but really high in fat, saturated fat. This is a low-fat whipped cream. It's a whipped topping, let's face it. It's not cool, but it's really delicious. And I learned this from my dear friend, Dr. Hans Deal. Basically, you make it out of pears. If pears are in season, you can just peel them and use them. If you want to use fresh pears, you can roast them to bring out the sweetness. Pears can often be hard if they're not ripe and not very sweet. Or you can just use canned or jarred pears in their own juice, which are available in most stores. So I'm going to place that in the blender. And then I'm going to add my gluten-free rolled oats and my pure vanilla bean powder. And I'm going to blend. There is also a high-fat version of this pear whip topping in my book that's made out of cashews. And if you want it thicker, you could add chia seeds, but I really recommend you only use the white, or you will have a very dark, not so attractive whip topping. And you can use this not only on the dessert we're making right now, but also just on fruit or pretty much any dessert. And it's delicious. And it's made from the fruit, the whole fruit, and nothing but the fruit. So now I'm going to show you how to make a coulis. It's just a fancy French word that means sauce. I love it in just about every flavor, but especially the red flavors because it's just they're so pretty on desserts. So raspberry, strawberry would be my favorite. And so I just have some fresh ripe strawberries. You know, the thing about fruit is you really don't know the sweetness of the fruit until you taste it. And so sometimes you actually have to sweeten it a little bit. And when I sweeten things, I use dates only. Date paste is my favorite sweetener. I always have it on hand. It lasts for months in the refrigerator, even longer in the freezer. You could also use date syrup, but as you can see, it's time to go to Walmart because I am out of it. And so you can take your fruit. It can be fresh, it can be frozen. I often do this with a bag of raspberries that are frozen and have been defrosted. Raspberries tend to be quite tart. And so you can just throw them in the blender. And believe it or not, you can eat the stem of the strawberry. I was once at a dinner at Dr. Baxter Montgomery's house, and Dr. Gregory ate the strawberry whole. He said you can eat them. He eats the skin of the kiwi. So just put it in. Let's see, I'm just trying to fill up my little squeeze bottle from the dollar store because I don't have quite enough, and I figured I'll show you how to make it. It's just so easy. And so usually I just start with a 1/4 cup of date paste because you can always add, but you can't take away. And then we're just going to blend. I mean, how easy was that? I think strawberry might be my favorite fruit and my favorite flavor. So we're just going to pour it into our squeeze bottle. This actually had raspberry in it, but I'm not going to worry about it. All fruit is good and they're good together. You can use your funnel to get it in. Sometimes raspberries are challenging because those little tiny seeds, even with a high-powered blender, don't always blend up and they can actually get stuck in your little squeezy thing. Oh, this smells great. And this is great to put on fruit salad, any type of ice cream like banana ice cream. Very delicious. And kids love putting sauce on things. So now we have our 3 components, and I'm going to show you how to put the dessert together. So this is what it looks like when it's done, and you can eat this, as I mentioned, cold, room temperature, or warm, even right out of the pressure cooker. But if you're going to use it as a parfait dessert, then you want to chill it first. And so I have some of my apricot quinoa pudding in a pretty glass. and then you decide the order. So I'm going to put some sauce. I took the top off because I want quite a bit of sauce. And then let's go with some whipped cream. Beautiful. This is so delicious. Desserts don't have to be high in fat or sugar to be decadent. And then let's put another layer of the quinoa apricot pudding. There we go. Now, I got another sauce. The recipe's in the book. This is my vanilla caramel sauce. It's amazing. Let's put some of that on. A little more whipped cream. Maybe just a little more sauce on top. If you want, a sprinkle of cacao nibs. And always good to garnish every dessert. Come on, there we go. With some fresh mint. So there we have it, our delicious apricot quinoa pudding parfait. I hope you'll try it. I hope you'll like it. And I hope you'll consider pre-ordering my book. It really helps when books are pre-ordered, especially if one like me has a dream to become a New York Times bestseller. If you're going to buy it anyway, please consider buying it in this format and before it's released. Save your receipt, and it would be my pleasure to send you over $1,000 worth of bonuses. I hope you'll try this recipe. I hope you'll like it, and I hope you will learn that you really can satisfy your sweet tooth with the fruit, the whole fruit, and nothing but the whole fruit. I'm Chef AJ. Thanks so much for watching, and I wish you the best of health.